Hello there, fellow flashbacks. Hopefully. um, I wanted to see if there's anyone who thinks like me on this certain subject. It's not AI, it's not housing prices, or the hell it is trying to find a job currently. It's something I've never heard anyone talk about. The the want to be forgotten. Sounds depressing, I know, but there's no way I could put it. Um, into the meat potatoes, I guess. What does it mean to me? Well, quite obviously, I don't want to be remembered, both in death and right now, right this second. And I'm defeating the purpose of that, I understand. But some things you gotta let out. But I think this belief, this philosophy, whatever you want to call it, it's quite topical right now with the even more growing prevalent surveillance. That made sense. I mean, it's gone from like then let's take a time period of the 1930s, right? You know, the only way you could have been watched is someone had to physically look at you and watch you. But now there are cameras on every possible vantage point, always stacked in like groups of fours or twos. And especially now with, well, phones, smartphones more specifically. And while that does sound a bit tinfoil hat, it's kind of been proven in the sense of, well, you hear stories of people going missing and the only thing they find is the phone, and then they go through all the like data on the phone, and it's you got all this location data and whatnot, and no one really says anything about it. It's always, well, they don't say anything about it. They don't say anything good or bad about it. And I'm not saying in those scenarios it's bad, but you can't exactly deny the fact that we are being tracked, we are being watched on at least some level. Despite the fact that I want to be forgotten, I know my face, my voice, especially now, and any interaction I've had online or offline, and my other personal shit is sitting in a database somewhere, just waiting to be used for something. This this isn't new, especially if it comes from anyone who's in the public conscious. But to me, I've held this I've held this belief, as I said, this belief, philosophy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I've held it really close to my chest since I was 7, maybe 8. And it was back before surveillance was at this scale or was this prevalent and this normalized. If I can't walk past a door into a store, right? If I can't walk past one of those without being tracked on a camera, and with AI, I know I said I wasn't going to be talking about AI, but with the advent of AI and its facial tracking bollocks, and its facial recognition, if I can't walk past a store without being profiled, that's just defeats my want, defeats my philosophy, my purpose, defeats me. And because of this environment we live in now, I've become incredibly privacy focused, and I've seen quite a lot of other people do the same thing. Everyone, well, not everyone, a large chunk of the population have become incredibly privacy focused. I mean, I myself, I went from being a Windows user. I debloated my Windows 11. I debloated it, and I got rid of every single like bullshit thing that was shoved into it. And then I eventually, as of I don't know, maybe 4 months ago, maybe yeah, about 4 months ago, I made the change. I jumped into Linux. I jumped into the most accessible Linux distro, that being Linux Mint. And I jumped all because of, as I said, the shit that was being shoved into Windows by Microsoft. All of the shady data collection stuff. I jumped. I've wiped any social media I've had, and while there is one, two, maybe three left, I either can't get into them anymore. They are they were on a now completely deactivated platform, though I do understand that data is also probably sitting somewhere. Or I just don't care about it. The only other human being I've seen this philosophy is a YouTuber known as Shy. It's not in his videos I find it, but it's in one of his songs. I'll leave it linked in the description as well as his channel. A part of the song goes, "When I wake up, I want to be forgotten." Shy and I lead very different lives. So his reason, his want, his borderline need to be forgotten more comes from a survival tactic. You'll understand if you go and check him out, and I highly recommend you do. But I believe we share the core, and in a lot of cases, that matters. Uh, that's it. This 7 minute, 8 minute long thing. Have a good one. Shy's channel and said song will be linked in the description. Bye bye.